and thought, if only I had what they have, I would finally be happy. We spend so much of our time staring at distant windows, convinced that the light shining from them is brighter than anything glowing in our own home. But what if the truth is something we've forgotten? What if the golden light we've been chasing all our lives has been shining right behind us all along? There is an old saying that goes, "The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence." And in our endless chase for that greener grass, we often forget to look down and see the beauty beneath our own feet. Today's story is a simple one, but it carries a truth so powerful that it has the ability to change the way you see your entire life. It's a story about a young boy, a faraway house, and windows that seem to be made of gold. But more than that, it's a mirror, one that reflects the quiet discontentment many of us carry without even realizing it. So before you continue scrolling or rushing through your day, I want you to pause and watch this story till the very end. Because by the time it finishes, you may look at your own home, your own life, and your own blessings with eyes you've never used before. Ask yourself honestly as you listen, am I chasing something out there while ignoring the gold that already surrounds me? There was once a young boy who lived on a small farm at the edge of a quiet village. His family wasn't rich, but they had enough: a simple house, a few animals, and long days of work in the fields. Every morning, before the chores began, the boy had a little ritual. He would climb a small hill near his farmhouse, sit on a rock, and gaze far across the fields. There, on a distant hill, stood a house he had never visited. But what caught his heart were its windows. They looked like they were made of pure gold. When the sun rose, those windows blazed with light, shining so brightly that the boy had to narrow his eyes just to look at them. He would sit there, half in awe, half in envy, and whisper to himself, "One day, I'll live in a house like that." To him, that faraway house meant everything he didn't have: a better life, a richer family, a more beautiful world. Day after day, the same scene repeated. His own house, close by, looked old and ordinary. The paint was fading, the roof needed fixing, and the windows were just glass. But that other house in his mind, it became perfect. He imagined a grand bedroom, a table filled with delicious food, parents who never worried about money, and new clothes without patches or tears. Every golden reflection from those windows fed his dreams a little more. One evening, as he sat at the table eating his simple meal, he couldn't hold his question anymore. "Father," he said, "have you seen the house with the golden windows on the far hill?" His father smiled gently. "I've seen many houses, son, but windows of gold. That sounds like a dream." The boy lowered his eyes to his bowl. "To you it's a dream," he thought, "but to me, it's real." That night, he lay awake staring at the ceiling, the image of the golden windows burning in his mind. He decided that the next morning, he wouldn't just look at the house. He would go there. As the first light of dawn touched the sky, the boy quietly slipped out of bed. He took a piece of bread, a small bottle of water, and stepped outside. The farm was still half asleep, wrapped in gray-blue light. For a moment, he turned to look at his own house, but it seemed dull and shadowed. He faced the far hill. The golden windows were already beginning to glow. Without telling anyone, he started walking. He walked through fields wet with morning dew, his shoes soaking through. He climbed over fences, past grazing animals, and followed dusty paths he had never taken before. The golden house seemed close when he started, but as he walked, it felt like it kept moving farther away, always just beyond the next hill. He grew tired, but the thought of those shining windows pulled him forward. If it's this beautiful from far away, he thought, how amazing will it be up close? Hours passed. The sun rose higher, the light grew hotter, and the glow in the distance slowly changed. At last, breathless and sweating, the boy reached the hill where the house stood. He stopped, wiped his eyes, and looked up. His heart sank. The windows were not golden. They were plain, clear glass, just like his own. No diamonds, no treasure, no magic. Just ordinary windows in an ordinary house. For a moment, he thought he must have come to the wrong place. He rubbed his eyes again, stepped closer, even circled the house. But no matter where he stood, the windows stayed ordinary. All the dreams he had built around this place began to crumble. Is this it? He thought. Is this the house I've been dreaming of? An elderly woman stepped out of the door and noticed the boy standing there silently. You look tired, she said with a warm smile. Have you come from far away? The boy nodded. I came to see the house with golden windows, he said quietly. But I think I made a mistake. The woman chuckled softly. Golden windows? Oh, child, our windows are as plain as anyone else's. She gave him a drink of water and a place to rest for a few minutes. Inside, the house was simple. No grand furniture, no piles of gold, no perfect life. It felt strangely familiar. It felt like home. After resting, the boy thanked the woman and stepped outside again. His legs were heavy, and his heart even heavier. He started walking back the way he came, feeling foolish and disappointed. Maybe there is no special place, he thought. Maybe my dreams were just a trick of the light. At the top of the hill near the woman's house, he paused to catch his breath. Something made him turn around and look back in the direction of his own farm. What he saw froze him in place. Far away, on the hill where he always sat each morning, stood his own farmhouse. And in the soft afternoon light, its windows were shining. They were glowing with the same golden color he had chased all day. From this distance, in this light, his ordinary farmhouse looked magical. For a long moment, he didn't move. He just stared. That's my house, he whispered. The golden windows were mine? He suddenly understood. The house he had envied for so long was never special. It only looked magical because of the way the light hid the glass and the angle from which he saw it. And now, from a different angle, his own home looked just as magical, maybe even more. As he stood there on the hill, dusty and tired, a quiet truth settled in his heart. The beauty he had been chasing somewhere else had been with him all along. His own house, with its cracks and creaks and simple windows, held the people who loved him. It was where he laughed, where he learned, where he grew. It wasn't less. He had just never looked at it with the same admiration. The boy smiled to himself, a little embarrassed and a little wiser. He turned toward home, not with disappointment this time, but with gratitude. The walk back fell shorter. The same fields, the same fences, the same paths. But now they seemed special, because they were his. When he finally reached his farm,